Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Wanted to give a little update now that I'm through vintage weekend here. Finally caught a breath. Got all the cars rebuilt. They're all good to go. So for the next round, eventually, they're ready to go. Or we'll see. Maybe a few of these might be leaving the channel. We will see. But as you can see, started getting some parts in for our RC10 stadium truck build. So MIPS, CVDs, Unilink, RPMs, ball ends, full set of bearings. We're not doing anything ceramic, guys. Faceted bearings are going to be just fine. Got the titanium turnbuckles to go with our ball cups. Got all of our J Concepts rear wing and front and rear carbon shock towers. I got diamond nose tubes around here somewhere. I don't know for sure. And then obviously had to get some wheels. So got wheels front and rears, so we can mount some slicks up to these things and get going. Have more parts on the way. A couple of main orders are coming in with some more stuff. I forget exactly what it is. Yeah. So our RC10t, I got to pick it up, but I'll pick that up and we'll start getting that thing together and start working on an RC10t. And then I've been talking to one of our subscribers, Nick, shot me an email. He's got a Losi XT that needs a little bit of work. So I think we can get that and get that on the channel. And what we'll do is we'll do a little vintage restoration on that thing and hop it up. And if you saw our video on our XX and how that buggy started out, I think that came a long way and has really turned out great, and love that car. I mean, it's refreshed. It's just kind of sitting on the stand over there, waiting for its next opportunity to do some racing, which we'll see, maybe soon. So I worked him a deal and said, hey, if you send me the truck, I'll put the electronics in it, get a body for it, all that sort of thing. Let me use it on the channel. We'll compare it to the RC10T. And when we're done with it, as far as the comparison and track running and stuff, I'll send it back to you with everything in it. So I think we'll be seeing that here maybe early next week. So I'll talk to Nick probably tomorrow, grab my email and see where he's at. But for letting me use that truck, we'll pimp that thing out a little bit. And I just can't find a good XT, and I don't want to buy garbage because I'll just be in it for more and more and more. So, and we'll see if it's great as I remember as a kid. But we'll get Nick's on the channel. We'll get that thing cleaned up. That'll allow us to do a fairly quick comparison because, like I said, I'm just having trouble finding a XT. There's one on eBay right now, and the guy, it's like $200 to buy it now. The guy broke his chassis, so it's basically like the rear clip and the front clip. And it looks in pretty good shape, but he wants like $200 for it. Well, to buy it now is $400, but no one's bid on it, and he had a starting bid of $200, and I doubt anyone's going to buy it. Because to find a chassis, you're $50 to, I think there's a new one on there for $135, and he's still missing parts, so it's not like, get a chassis and the thing's great. You need a chassis for sure, front bulkhead, top plate, and some other stuff. So even at $200, I was thinking about buying it, and I'm like, shit, at $200, it needs another $200 worth of parts. It's $400. There was a brand new one that went on eBay that was brand new built, and that went for, I think, $485 for XT. And I think that did have the hydrodrive on it. And there's a couple others on there, but man, I mean, there's a beat one on there, and it's like $237. And I'm cheap. I'm just not willing to really pay that. So if Nick's willing to kind of give me a good base, which from the pictures it looked like it was a pretty good truck to get together, kind of like our XX buggy, right? We put a front bulkhead on that and a couple upgrades, and that thing was ready to go. And like I said, I probably have about $200 into that thing now, I guess, with the bearings and stuff that we did. But it was obviously worth it if you watched the vintage race at more this past week. And if you didn't, go down there to the library there and check it out. So Scott Galero powered that thing around and did pretty good. It's like I said, I'm not a huge Losi fan, but that is now, like the other night, I just wanted to come downstairs and just kind of relax and work on something. And the first thing I grabbed was the Losi. And I started going through some of the screws and stuff like that. and just checking everything out, taking a real fine-tooth comb to run through everything. And man, I really do like that car. I don't know why. Um, and a little, I do like the Cougar. I mean, I like them each, but Sam with our B3, he was able to talk to Scott Spear. Scott Spear did a lot of, I think, it was involved with Factory Works on the shock towers for the B3 and the design of that and stuff. And I know he's a manager for Associated, but he sent his B3 shock setup, so I ordered those parts off A-Main. So the pistons, I think he had 1.5s in the front with one of the holes drilled out to 1.6, running white springs, and I think 30 weight fluid. And then he's at 27.5 in the back with green springs. And I wanted to say 1.72 millimeter pistons, the thin piston. So of course, when Sam sent that to me, I put an A-Main order in, and those should be in this week. So we're going to actually see if we can get the B3 faster. The other thing I want to make sure is the Reedy speed controller didn't screw up that goddamn motor. So I am going to get another Surpass rocket and switch it out in the B3 and just, I don't know. You know, when Sam said, oh man, that Losi really seems a lot quicker. Like I said, I kind of noticed it too, but makes me wonder if there's maybe that Reedy ESC did something. I don't know. So I'm going to just get another motor, and we'll use that motor for something. I mean, it's 21.5, so we'll use it on another buggy. I don't know exactly what here. If there's no difference or whatever, and it's like, it was just the way it is, fine. But if not, that could be an answer too. So we'll get another motor ordered this week and get it on the B3. And like I said, we'll see if we can get that a little bit dialed, because Sam does have I think he's got a B2 and he's trying to upgrade to a B3. And I know he's going down to the Kinwald Classic. And I said, instead of, I was talking to his wife, Danielle, and I was like, hey, instead of Sam screwing around with that thing, just have him take mine. Like, I'll pimp it up, put it together. I know he's sponsored by Associated and stuff, so if we got to take the motor out and whatever for him to run at BK, I go, that's fine. But I have all the parts. I have all the spare parts for him to run. Obviously, the shocks, you can readily get parts for, but obviously we have arms, bulkhead, all that stuff. So unless you break the chassis in half, you're going to be just fine with that thing. So you may see that car at BK Classic. It may be sporting a different paint job, because Sam's colors are kind of gray, yellow, red, white, I think. So he will maybe make an appearance with that at BK Classic. And then we are going to charge forward here. So wanted to send kind of just an update. Like I said, we're getting stuff together. It's just waiting on parts, so there's not much content to film, and I really want to wait on starting the RC10t until I get all the parts in. So I'm not tearing stuff down just to put stuff back in. So I'm waiting on some stuff to come in, and that thing will be pretty cool. And then, like I said, double XT, I'll talk to Nick. Maybe we can get that by midweek next week or something and start going on that. So we'll start the vintage stadium truck series here, I think, next week. And like I said, in the background, we're still going to be working on some stuff. So the B3, obviously, we're going to redo the shock package on it. And I'm going to actually take that with me. And then one night when Sam's at Moore, I'm going to have him run it again and just see if it improved it or what, or we need to go back to this setup. We'll see. The fan graphite in the background, you see a couple packages over there. Have new turnbuckle ball cups ready to go on that, just the black fan RC ones, because our white ones are getting a little slop and a little worn out. Got a Unilink for that. J Concepts, maybe we'll ship my order out. I guess I don't know. So I'm waiting on the steering bell crank for that as well. Since that's metal, the World's fan ones do have a little elasticity to them. So I don't know. I'm going to see if it improves the sharpness of that. I mean, that car drives great. It is a great car. Really do like the fan. So I'm just going to, like I said, we've been running that since October. And I did do kind of a slight refresh, but like I said, the ball cups are the original ball cups. So I just kind of want to focus on the steering. We are going to switch out the front shock oil to 32.5 weight instead of the 30 weight that's on there, and see if we can dial that in a little bit, because I believe that's probably the car I'm going to be taking to the associated race in Las Vegas in October, along with my Yokomo 870C. So we'll see. I'm gonna run through that thing a little bit, and like I said, I'm gonna pay a little bit of attention as we kind of run through the turnbuckles and everything, make sure that thing is good to go. I am gonna drill out and put set screws for the front hinge pins. Our Cougar has that, and that does tighten that up a good bit. So I'm just gonna drill and tap some 440 screws in there. So the hinge pins don't move on the inner. And I know Kinwald did that as well. So we'll do a little Kinwald mod there and drill and set those hinge pins. We may do that on our B3 too. I don't know. That one's not near as bad. Yeah, and we don't have much slop. It's taken, like when I did them on the Cougar, it's got zero slop in it now. It actually did a pretty good job of just kind of tightening that up. And so we'll do the same thing on our fan. And if you haven't seen the fan graphites, they're going for $380. Get one. Like I said, I know I sung a lot of praise for the Losi. Man, unless you got deep pockets, that Losi is, they're expensive, or unless you can find a sweet deal like I did on Marketplace. Like I said, I got extremely lucky finding that thing on Marketplace. And like I said, if you first saw it on the channel, you'd be like, oh my God, that thing's a parts car. And we got that thing together pretty quickly. And like I said, it turned out great in the end. So really happy with that car. I mean, I'm staring at it right now. That thing's beautiful. The blue springs and the pink springs in the back. And that thing looks great. I don't know what I'm going to do for rims. Luckily, I did clean up the tires and everything. I think we maybe have one more race weekend on the yellow rims before those are done. And then I have some white rims with some brand new silver compound Smoothie 2s on there that we will use moving forward. But then once those wear out, I guess I'll just acetone them. Because I haven't beat up the rims too bad. So I just acetone them. But I always hate acetone because I do feel like it weakens the rim. But yeah, $50 for a set of wheels that's a lot. Hopefully, J Concepts, you're hearing this, and I hope whatever the new wheel is that came out. I saw it on Dirty Dean's pink XX. He had the new J Concepts wheels, so I hope they produce those for the XX, because I'll buy a ton of those. And like I said, if I can't get parts support for the XX, it's not worth keeping. So if I can't keep it running, it's not good for me on this channel, because I don't have shelf queens, except I say that, and those two cars have been sitting on the shelf ever since this channel started. But I'm actually going to run those pretty soon. So I'm going to go to Moore and run the B74.1 and my B74 since I never ran it, and just see what the modern cars are like, because it's been a good while since I ran a modern car. I mean, it was probably back with my Losi 50 Elite in my 22X. I bet it's probably been a year and a half, 2 years maybe. And I got rid of those things and just been racing vintage ever since. So we will, well, I shouldn't say vintage. I guess the Losi 22 1.0 and a B5 aren't exactly vintage, but they're rear motor. I mean, maybe that's better way to say it. My rear motor racing, and I'm going to stay racing rear motor forever. So yeah, that's the update. Video's getting long. May have a midweek update here, depending on parts coming in and getting the RC10t and start getting some builds on that, and going from there. And don't forget the Astute as well. So I emailed Fan about the Astute arms, and I'm trying to get a pair of super Astute arms that Fan's reproducing. So if I can get those, that's maybe going to energize me a little bit to get moving on the Astute. So because that's showing up this week or early next week, depending on Amy. I mean, goddamn, took them almost 3 weeks to get me my Cougar, but that might be the next step. So again, guys, like, comment, subscribe down below, and we'll get you an update later this week.